Welcome to the Transparent FX Academy. I'm Nick, and I'm a top author on TradingView with over 190k reputation points. In this video, I will be taking a pair, breaking it down from a technical and order flow perspective to try to understand where we have the highest probabilities of the next potential move. And in doing so, I will provide as much free education as possible. So I really suggest that you stick to the video to the end, and I will see you on the charts. In today's video, I want to speak about NZD CHF because at the moment we do have quite interesting price action and structure. Starting here on the monthly, in fact, what we can notice is that the market here has just broken below a very important structure level. In fact, this zone was acting as support here, again support here, again here, again here. However, last month, for the first time, we have now seen a break below this historical structure support zone. And at the moment, we are retesting it as resistance. And from here, there is the possibility to see the market provide a potential rejection to the downside. Dropping down on the weekly, what do we see? Now, from a weekly perspective, what we can notice is that we had a very clear impulse and correction. Now, in general, after an impulse, if you want to measure the correction, you have to take your Fibonacci from the high to the low of the impulse. And if we do that, we can see how the market has just retraced to the zone, which is in between the 0.32 and 50% of the Fibonacci taken on this weekly impulse, which is a very strong area of resistance from which we could expect a potential rejection to the downside. So at the moment, monthly and weekly are both indicating the possibility of more bearish price action getting developed from this area. Now, dropping down the daily time frame, what do we have? Now, from a daily perspective, here is where things start getting a bit complicated because on the daily time frame, we still have bullish structure. In fact, this zone is still acting as previous daily resistance. Again, resistance here, which the market broke to the upside with this impulse. And at that point, all this previous resistance was turned support here. And as the market is testing this previous resistance turned support, there is definitely the possibility for a potential rejection to the upside. So until the market from a daily closing perspective will remain above this zone, it can easily continue higher. So in order to have nice bearish continuation, we first need to see a daily break below the zone. We don't know if the market will create it because from here until it will remain above support, it can easily continue higher. However, if we actually get a break below the support, this previous support would be turned resistance. And if we successfully get this break on the retest of the previous support and resistance, this is where we have very good probabilities for a potential rejection to the downside. Now, if we go and see what we have when it comes to the commitment of traders, so the COT data, which is what the non-commercials, so the biggest speculators in the market are doing, and we check the data for the NZD, we can see how with the last reports, we went from having a positive to now a negative net positioning. In fact, we went from having way more longs than shorts with 18k longs and only 16k shorts, all the way down to now having minus 18k net positions with 28k shorts and 10.3k longs, so completely the opposite, meaning that from an institutional perspective, we are seeing shorting of the NZD. And if we go and see what we have on the CHF, we can see how the CHF with the last report got a little bit more bearish, but in the long term, it's pretty clear that we have seen decreasing in net positions. So the CHF has been getting weak as well. Important to notice, however, is that with the last report, we have seen 1.5k longs added, suggesting that we're not seeing longs closed anymore, but now longs getting added, which means that this could be the start of an accumulation of longs on the CHF, which could then follow also with closing of shorts, but that is something that we would see with the new report. Especially if the market will break below the support, there is good probability that on the retest we will see longs added on the CHF and more shorts on the NZD, which is what we're already seeing. At that point, increasing the probabilities of the move to the downside, because also from an institutional perspective, we would see aggressive shorting of the NZD and longing of the CHF. So if we do get this break to the downside on the retest, how we could be approaching this rejection to the downside. Now, as usual, trading is reactive and not predictive. The monthly, weekly, and daily combined with the CO2 data, those are the best time frames from a directional perspective. However, when it comes to confirmations and entries, the best time frames are the intraday time frames, so 4 hour and lower. Therefore, if we do get the break on the retest, how we could be approaching this potential move to the downside? Well, what we could be doing is monitoring price action from an intraday perspective during this move to the upside, waiting for the market to shift from an intraday bullish market as we would have to an intraday bearish market. And if the market would shift from an intraday bullish to bearish market and provide to us one of our valid entries, at that point we could be looking for this potential rejection to the downside for the market to complete this impulse correction and impulse pattern to the downside. Now, if you don't know what I'm speaking about when I say valid entries and this kind of things, that is all part of the mentorship program, which you can find at transparentfxtrading.com. Here you have the possibility to gain access to my entire course with all the rules of the strategies. You also have the possibility to gain access to one-on-one private mentoring, the VIP market breakdowns with the Telegram signals, the CO2 data software, which is the one that we used in this analysis, the trading station software, which puts together everything that you need as a trader all in one interface. And if you scroll lower, you will see that at the moment I'm running a special promotion in which you have a big discount on the upfront price of the mentorship program. And since I have partnered with the Forex broker Blueberry Markets, if you open an account with them from the student dashboard, you can get a full refund credited back into your trading account. And if you scroll lower, you will see that at the moment there is still time to join the program. However, spots are limited, so if the spots gets filled before the timer goes to 0, anyway, the offer will end. So I really suggest that you take advantage right now and join directly from here in order to gain automatically access with the email and password that you will create during the checkout. So definitely looking forward to have you on board. If you enjoyed the video, make sure that you smash that like button and comment below. It really does help with the YouTube algorithm, and I will see you in my next video.